Welcome back to Talking Dragon Age, the show where I talk about Dragon Age. Today we're going to be talking about Eleni Zinovia and the idea of seeing the future in Thedas. It's a strange topic. Liliana describes it as nonsense, while Empress Selene is fascinated by the idea. It's one of the more taboo magical areas of study. Not like blood magic, but more like shapeshifting, or necromancy outside of Navarra. The idea of seeing the future has largely been discredited. I don't mean there were too many frauds, although I'm sure that's true. I mean, some have spent a lot of time, energy, and resources into it, and ultimately had little to show for it. However, it can be done with a fair degree of accuracy. Let's talk about Eleni Zinovia. Eleni Zinovia was the mother to Archon Hessarian, the man who killed Andraste and then converted Tevinter to Andrastianism. Eleni was the consort and advisor to Archon Valerius. She had prophetic dreams that helped Valerius rise to power in the first place, but when she predicted his downfall, he had her soul or spirit or whatever bound to a statue. I may talk about that more in another video. He had the statue placed at the front of his palace so she could spit her lies at whoever came across, and she could be mocked. Well, her prediction came true. She probably didn't have much of a relationship with her son, but he would have seen the statue a lot, and they probably talked sometimes. But I imagine Valerius and his guards would have kept a close eye on something like that. It's speculated his mother's history influenced his decision later to have mercy on Andraste. Some even speculate she told him what would happen. Now, according to a Tevinter scholar named Serafina of Paravantium, few aside from dreamers can see the future with any degree of accuracy. She goes on to explain that while many have wasted time trying to master the skill, it was basically only ever done by those born with the gift, like Eleni Zinovia. Why was she born with it? Who knows? She apparently believes in the Maker, or something she calls the Maker, even though worship of him wasn't really a thing until after she was put into a statue. Although apparently, Tevinter did believe there was a creator of the world in addition to the old gods. They just didn't worship him. That's a story for another day. Anyway, the Maker has been credited with giving people visions of the future, most notably Andraste and her mother. It's not inconceivable that Eleni Zinovia credits her gift to him as well. But you'll notice, Serafina says few aside from dreamers can see the future with any degree of accuracy. This says to me that some dreamers are able to see the future in some capacity. If the dreamer chooses to pursue this ability is another matter entirely. Serafina says some spirits are able to see the future from a warped perspective. Any mage could consult them, but the word of spirits is always suspect at best. Dreamers can manipulate the fate in strange ways, so I guess that can help them somehow. But other than those born with it, which are probably rarer than dreamers, there's one more kind of person that may be able to see the future. Those with what is called arcanist derangement. This is discussed a whopping one time in the whole series in the book Asunder, but it sounds so cool. Basically, it's when someone is born a mage, but their magic manifests in a very wonky way, granting them special powers other mages don't have access to. They are exceedingly rare these days due to the institutions and cultures that take care of mages and teach them to properly control their magic. Arcanist derangement could potentially grant one the ability to see the future with a high degree of accuracy. How likely is this? Exceedingly unlikely, but it is possible, and it's worth mentioning because Sarah gets bouts of deja vu. Here's how Cole explains it.
Have we been here? I mean, right here, doing exactly this. It feels weird.
Yes, but not how you mean. In the soft, thin places, spirits push with memories that didn't happen, or did, or might.
Solas tells her,
Have you ever had any interest in learning magic, Sarah?
Get off.
While it has not manifested naturally, there are ways to determine whether arcane gifts lie dormant within you.
What? Don't make me think about that. I have to sleep at night.
He's obviously just messing with her, but that doesn't mean what he's saying is out of the question. I maintain my theory that the reason Sarah has such weird abilities is due to the small painted box. But it's worth mentioning that Sarah could potentially tell the future if she tried to exploit her abilities. So that about does it for fortune telling. I feel like all I said is, hey, this is possible and weird and unlikely, but, well, I wanted to talk about it. I mentioned some stuff here that I'll probably talk about in the future too, so yeah. So that's it for now, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to comment and like, and remember, Tala Nadas.